Patriots fans and Dolphins fans, as the late, great Gorilla Monsoon may say, the time for the talk is just about over. Your New England Patriots and your Miami Dolphins will hook it up at 1 p.m. this Sunday, October 6th, at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Kyle, we've broken this one down from a Dolphins perspective, from a Patriots perspective, but if the Dolphins are to go in and pull the ever so slight upset right now, thanks to our friends over at FanDuel, what do they need to do to earn this victory?
Well, let me first go on the record and say I would not be in on any money line action for the Dolphins right now. The confidence is very low. But I think if Miami is going to win the game, I think you do need to find some element of explosive plays. I don't think you can trust your team to work methodically down the field and take completions as they're available. And they have shown kind of an inconsistent ability to call runs. They've shown an inconsistent ability to call on runs that are working. They want to work the outside and the edges, but the inside is largely what teams have been giving them, and they've had some success taking it, but they don't take it with consistency. So you have Jalen Hill or Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as two marquee wide receivers in the NFL. It has been next to impossible for you to get them the ball the last 2 weeks. I don't know how that's possible, where I watch teams that have one good wide receiver and are not good offenses still find ways to get that guy the ball 6 to 8 times a game. So that for me is the big thing. How do you change what you're trying to do in order to create explosives? That is one for me. Can you manufacture 3 to 5 explosive plays in this game? If the answer is yes, I think they have a good chance to actually win the game, because now you're not pinning the defense up in negative field position battles for 60 minutes. I think another thing for the Dolphins, and this one's offensively, and it's all in the coaching staff, I think they really need to get rid of some of the shift and motion elements of the pre-snap mechanics. The list of pre-snap penalties for the Dolphins would melt your mind over the first 4. It's more than a dozen pre-snap, procedural, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal formation type of penalties. And that is with a quarterback who's been here now 3 weeks. It's just extra margin for error. They had one where they got up on the line of scrimmage and they had 4 guys moving at the same time. And one of them was a guy who was already in motion for the snap. So I think you got to get rid of some of that stuff. I think with the way the offense is working, it's not really beneficial in the way that it would theoretically be in the first place. And I don't know if Mike McDaniel has the capacity to do it based on his tone when he talks about his offense. And then I'll take the low-hanging fruit on defense, and I'll say you're going to have to get your offense into scoring position with a couple of turnovers, and early turnovers in possessions, not wait till they get down into the red zone and then take a turnover, because I don't think the Dolphins would do anything with it if they got it anyway. So can you get turnovers that start the offense on the plus side of the 50 to give your at least special teams some opportunities for some extra points? That's, for me, what the script looks like for winning games. And it's unfortunately one of those scripts where some of it you're not really in control of. But that's what it feels like watching this team trying to play football right now.
Absolutely. And I think New England Patriots fans are listening to a lot of what you just said, and they're nodding their head, because a lot of those keys are exactly what the Patriots will need to do to Miami in order to try to win this game. Obviously, the first thing from a Patriots perspective, if they're going to earn the victory on Sunday in Week 5, is to protect the football. Ramondre Stevenson is a very adept runner, and he's looked very good when running the football, but he hasn't looked good at all when it comes to protecting it. And that is a big problem. When you fumble the ball 4 times in as many games, and you're costing your team valuable field position, and you're giving them and you're taking away their ability to be able to sustain drives and maybe even get into the red zone, that's a problem. Head coach Gerard Mayo was very matter of fact when we asked him about this on Wednesday, when he said that benching Ramondre right now, which I think would have been unthinkable 4 weeks ago, is on the table, and giving the ball to Antonio Gibson and allowing him to be the lead runner, because the Patriots simply cannot allow any more unnecessary turnovers. So if they do that and protect the football, They need to get back to the basics that they had when they were playing well on offense, and that is using this run to facilitate everything they do on offense, including taking deep shots down the field off of play action. I think the Patriots need to get a little aggressive, maybe test that a little bit, test that secondary, that Dolphins secondary, and take some shots down the field. Of course, all of this is predicated on getting the protection Jacoby Brissett needs in order to make these throws and to hand the ball off. He hasn't had that because of a decimated offensive line, which is going to be at a disadvantage on Sunday without David Andrews and some of their key members. Another thing the Patriots have to do on the defensive side of the ball is they have to eliminate the home run pass. And we talked about this a little earlier, Kyle. If the Patriots are going to try to mitigate that lack of pass rush up front because of the injuries they've had, they have to use that secondary to be able to lock down some of Miami's speedy and very dangerous weapons. If they can do that and shut that off and yield a little bit of the middle part of the field, they have a chance to take away what Tyler Huntley does well. And last but certainly not least, as you said, if the Patriots are going to win this, they have to win the turnover battle. They have to force some turnovers, get Miami on its heels, force them into a couple of bad plays, and then they can go to work and do what they need to do and set up with short field position. Patriots are going to need to do all three of these to a T in order to earn the victory on Sunday. They can do it. Whether or not they will do it is still a matter of conjecture, because this team right now has not necessarily been what you see, what you get. It's a mystery and wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma in Foxborough, Kyle.
Yeah, and it should be an entertaining game for sure. I don't know that it will be the cleanest game of the weekend. Might not be the most points you see this weekend, but a lot at stake for both of these teams as far as you're kind of creeping towards that record mark where you know what it means if you reach a record of 1-4 as compared to 2-3, and 1-3 is already a big enough hole for either one of these teams, regardless of what the preseason expectations were. So I'd expect the intensity of the game in that regard to be high, and hopefully that means an entertaining but healthy football game.